The House of Representatives is back in session now following its August recess. On the agenda right away for lawmakers, avoid a government shutdown at the end of this month. Joining us now, chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and senior whip of the Democratic Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington State. It's great to have you on. I'm curious what the goals are, what the progressives' goals are in the coming months and how they correlate with the midterm messaging.
Mika, it's great to be with you, and it's good to be back in session and to have just attended the celebration ceremony for the Inflation Reduction Act and to really see how much we've gotten done. Now, in terms of what we have left to do, we have these appropriations bills that we need to pass in order to make sure that we continue to fund the government. That deadline is September 30th, and we're at work on that. It'll probably be a continuing resolution to continue to fund the government. I also think there are a couple of bills, like, for example, the Social Security Act 2100, that would be a very good bill for us to pass. This is something that is incredibly popular across the country, and this bill really makes some critical improvements to Social Security, and it contrasts us with the Republicans who we know, through Rick Scott and others, want to strip away Social Security. We also hope that the Senate is going to pass the marriage equality bill. I think that is a really critical bill to be able to put Republicans on the record and hopefully to be able to pass with at least 10 Republicans. So those are some of the things on the plate. For the midterm elections, we have a couple of messages. Number one, Mika, we have to tell people how much Democrats have done, how we've brought down unemployment tremendously to the lowest point in the last 50 years, the way in which we've created jobs, the way in which we've brought manufacturing back to the United States with the CHIPS Act, of course, reducing hunger through the American Rescue Plan. Some of that ARP money, by the way, is still funding states for childcare and other things. And then most recently, the biggest investment in climate and, of course, protecting our freedoms. Women are furious across the country about the Dobbs decision. It is turning women out in droves. And those things together, I think, are going to be the winning formula for the midterms.
Yeah, I think Lindsey Graham actually might have helped Democrats yesterday with what he said. A lot of wins, obviously, to brag on in the lead up to the elections, the midterms elections. But I'm wondering if Democrats need to be careful about taking the credit for reducing inflation, for doing whatever the Inflation Reduction Act claims it will do for the economy, including reduce inflation. Can you explain how it will do that? And do you think it is something Democrats need to be careful about, given how hot the economy is right now? Even yesterday, President Biden coming out and celebrating his legislation, and the stock market is plummeting.
I think we have to be careful about not saying everything's hunky-dory, rosy, and, people are doing great, because we know that families across the country are still struggling with rising costs. We know that gas prices are down. I think that is a really important thing as we go into the midterms. And we know that we have gotten more money in people's pockets, and that through the Inflation Reduction Act, there will be a savings, substantial savings on health care, on prescription drugs, on capping of out-of-pocket costs. These are all things that Americans will feel. They may not feel them in the next month, though. And so that's the thing I think we have to be careful about, is saying, look, we have invested in the future. You will see these benefits. And we want to tell you what they are. We've never before, Mika, you know this, you've covered the Hill for a long time. We've never been able to get Medicare to negotiate drug prices. And finally, for the first time, we got our foot in the door. And I think we need to make sure Americans know about that, but also understand that we're not free and clear. We're still working to get everything, to get even more done.
Congresswoman, good morning. I want to ask you, in the last several days, you've made public voicemails that you've received, epithets, threats against your life. In July, a man was arrested near your home. And you've said you wanted to go public with this, though it's deeply personal and deeply hurtful, and obviously the messages you're receiving are appalling, and I'm so sorry you and your family are going through that. But you wanted to go public to just show the extent of the threats and the consequences of the rhetoric that is out there right now.
That's right, Willie. It was not an easy decision to sit down, and I have to say Ruby Kramer did a phenomenal job on that piece. But I do think it's important to make the tie between Donald Trump, the big lie, the insurrection, and then all of the violence, political violence, rhetoric that we are seeing, laced with racism and sexism when it's directed at women of color in particular, right in our homes. And so I felt like it was important, and I got to tell you, that piece has generated so much discussion about how real this is. This is not a hypothetical thing that, is just theoretical. It's out there. It is happening to us as we try to undertake our government responsibilities, and that shouldn't be the case. And so it feels very important to show what is at stake for the American people in terms of protecting our freedoms, protecting our democracy, and protecting the fundamental civility of a country as it does its work. You can disagree, Willie, about policies, no problem. But to have a person show up with a gun and tell me to go back to India and yell racial and sexually explicit expletives at my house and stalk me is a whole different thing. And it's not just me. We need to protect all of our members' security. And I think that's a very important thing that's come out of this as well.
All right, Chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.